Let's get this underway. How about for the? Okay, right. Okay, so for the Centurions, we have the RAS Terran. They're bringing their own galleon, being piloted by Blue. Portside, Hades with double Lumberjack. This is what we saw in that match. And we also have Carronade and Watch on the starboard side for some just-in-case action. Flare on the back. We've also got the RAS Iberico, a Pyramidion being piloted by Assault Pig. Flak Hades, not something we've seen for a while, with a Carronade and Flare on the port.
And then for the riders, we have got Dimentio's classic fancy, the Mobula. And that has got a field gun on the top decks, an Artemis missile sling and a carronade in the middle decks, and another Artemis and a flamethrower up on the wings. And finally, there is the Lib ATK, a galleon piloted by Luosi, and that is Lumber Hades on the left and Caro Hacha on the right with a flare in the back. So almost exactly what the Centurions brought, or maybe vice versa. I don't know.
Already, shots going down. The Iberico going to be the first target, oddly enough. They don't want to let it get close.
Oh, wow.
Armor down. Oh, goodness gracious.
Oh, my gosh. He just got stuck on the top of the mountain there.
Oof, double Lumberjack. I mean, one Lumberjack, it'll pop a balloon. A second Lumberjack is going to start damaging components, going to damage armor really badly, and even do a fair bit of permahull.
Yeah, Turin knows this, and they are backing up behind the safety net of the giant weapon here. And Fancy, although losing its balloon a couple of times, manages to keep all of its permahull up. So that's nice.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive, honestly. They were under a lot of fire there.
Mm-hmm.
Turin gonna take pecking
Armor.
armor.
They're gonna lose. Armor's
Oh my.
one shot away, and they
close.
are. I think they're out of arcs now. They've got to be.
Yeah, that was intense. Turin, ooh, gonna bounce a little bit.
Uh-oh, Iberico might be overextending, trying to draw fire off of his ally, and might cost him some perma.
Not necessary. Like, the Iberico does not need to be this far.
No, he is, and he knows that as well. He is absolutely backing up. And here we have the riders just establishing that we have got a mid-long range wall set up here. And you are not going to be able to get through it without heavy losses.
No, not at all. There you go.
So we're going to have to see some fancy moves. Show me your moves.
Show me your moves. Mysterious Medic continuing to fire off Lumberjack shots. Just keeping them down. Right now, the Riders, so it's kind of funny, the Riders didn't take early advantages, but then they, instead of trying to run out the timer, they always get aggressive. They use their advantage to force the enemy to engage them, because they like engagements. Like it might
like
be partly an honor thing. It's also a strategy thing.
I think they like an entertaining match as much as us, the casters, and you all, the watchers, do.
Yeah, I think that's the bigger part of it. The ATK taking a fair bit of fire, dropping down, losing its balloon.
Moonshining just a touch to get behind this gun here, while the Fancy pulls itself into a really nice position to just be able to shoot up into the Iberico, who is losing hull at a decent rate.
Yeah, the Iberico right now, what's really important to note is that it's facing forward. It's going to take a significant amount of time for it to get back behind cover. That's one of the advantages of a galleon, is it can back up behind cover, repair, pop out really quickly, and have the guns immediately in arc. Pyramidion can't really do that, and right now, it's feeling it.
Yeah, hull is out, balloon is out, and they took a decent chunk of their perma is gone now, and then even a chunk more as the Mercuries continue to rein in. Turin coming back in to try to get the brunt of the force, but those Lumberjacks have just been hitting him continually ever since the Lib ATK got in range.
Turin's still taking fire. This is a lot of damage for this galleon to be taking. Balloons up, and it's gonna bounce. Oh no!
Oh, and now the perma-hull damage begins to set in. Both of these ships have got a little chip out of their perma, and that is not a good situation at all.
Not a great way to start off this sniping engagement. I mean, this engagement really has just started. You got one death, but already Barrico, almost down to half. Turin taking a nice big hunk of permahull. It's still got plenty, but when you're on a galleon, every bit matters.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see the riders start to push that advantage that you were talking about earlier very soon as the red team begins to wrap around the southeast mountain here.
Yeah, this is what the riders really like doing. They like taking an aggressive stance and using that aggressive stance to get ahead. They love playing ahead because it means that the enemy has to run themselves onto their knife.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they're let's see, are they beginning to push in? No, they're going around, aren't they? Yeah,
They're
they're
gonna
getting
have
ready to
to.
cut them off. They're getting ready to cut them off, and and we're probably going to see an engagement in that little southeast corner, that C1 quadrant, that so many engagement happen. It's got the point on fighter over Firnfeld. I think it's E maybe.
Yeah, most engagements, especially sniping ones, tend to take place around this south side. It's really abnormal to see a kill go down where it did.
Mm-hmm. Well, on the north side of the gun, I mean, there's a lot of engagements happen around the gun as well, I'd say. And that was just on the other side of the gun there, so I wouldn't say it's uncommon. But that southeast corner, that C1, sees engagement all the time.
If ATK facing forward, yeah, like you were saying, they want to cut him off. They want to keep the pressure up. They know that if they can just keep the pressure up, they can keep chipping away at their permahull. The
Mm-hmm.
Hades on Lib ATK has been phenomenal. Delta who was that? Arya, I believe, on it. Yeah, Arya is their main
Oh boy,
engineer.
pausing for DC.
Ruh-roh.
No, looks like the United States government has shut down once again. Washington D.C. Need to pause. Whap
GG.
whap whap. GG U.S. government.
Terrorists win.
Didn't set up a budget for this what trimester? I don't know what it's called. I'm no government major. I ain't no politician, and I'm certainly not a crook. So another pause due to a disconnect. I guess the servers are having a little issues today, little hiccups. So that's gonna be troublesome. I'm sure that might even persist throughout the night here.
Yeah, hopefully not.
That would certainly be an unfortunate circumstance, which I'm sure no one here wishes to experience. So going on in chat, someone was asking earlier to switch pilot loadouts.
Yeah, I saw that.
So I don't. I think that was denied. Um, that was kind of a strange request, really. That's never been allowed before.
Yeah, yeah. Except like maybe at the beginning of a match, it's like, "Oops, sorry guys, I don't know.
Yeah, I got the
I
wrong
took
thing, and a
something
lot of
super
times,
weird."
yeah, and a lot of times even then, it's like, hey, you gotta stick with it.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, I remember this one time there was a team and they were trying to, throw the other team off their scent, and they had four pilots on like a squid or something, and they all and the idea was for them all to flop over to the proper ship and the proper classes right as it was starting, but they got caught off guard because both of the other team ships readied up at the same time, and they got caught in that 5 second countdown, and one of them actually wasn't able to switch. And so they ended up having two pilots on board, and he asked like, "Oh, can I switch classes?" And the other team was like, "No. If you want to pull something like that, you got to deal with the consequences."
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I get the feeling it's the Ducks that denied it. They tend to be a little bit more brutal, but I've said this before. I usually agree with them. If you're gonna if you're gonna play with fire, you gotta accept that you might
you gonna
get
finish
burned.
that statement, Oracle?
If you play with fire, you might have.
Good time. You might have a good time. You
You
might have a
play with
lot of
cake.
fun. Where there's cake, there's fire. Oracle, if you give a man a fire, he'll be warm for a night. If you set a man on fire, he'll be
Be
warm
warm
for
for the rest of his life.
I
Yep,
love that saying.
I love it.
Oh, it's too good.
And of course, Oh, I can't get a good look at AI Claire.
Oh man,
Darn.
see those beautiful orange robes,
AI Claire really wants that carronade.
the orange
Look at
automatons.
that. Look at that.
You know, rumor has it that originally,
Oops.
the AI costumes were supposed to be like robots, like little steampunk automatons.
Yeah, I actually am aware of that.
That's pretty. That's it. That's a shame that didn't go through, but that would have been cool to see a little gearbox clink clunking around your ship.
That'd be super cool. Sort of steam-powered giraffe-esque.
Clink 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 clink. You know,
I, lo-
big old gears coming out of their back,
I,
square heads.
I love steam-powered giraffe.
Clunk 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 clunk. Quang. That was a mallet.
Clung.
Quang.
No, that is an accurate representation of what a mallet sounds like. Clung, clung,
Clunk.
clung.
And then, Spanish more of like a tink.
And
So
then
here we go.
I say the wrench
Onomatopoeias
is a
ubiquitous.
clank.
Yeah, I think it's all clank. Onomatopoeias ubiquitous. As both of these, as the red team and the blue team has turned themselves into a Mexican standoff. Someone play the good, the bad, and the ugly. Times like these, I wish I picked up a musical instrument so I could just, grab my flute or whatever.
I have a harmonica, but
Can you play the good, the bad, and the ugly?
no. I think I can do the Mexican hat dance.
My friend had an ocarina that he could play a bunch of different songs on. That was pretty cool.
And I can do like do 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 do. But that's it. I remember I played that or no, what did I play? It was it was like one of the charge themes you always hear at sporting events. I did
Oh.
it when I was playing the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer with a couple of friends, and we played all Krogan and just meleeed things. It was really amusing.
Oh man, I feel like I should probably play the Mass Effect games at some point. People are always talking about. People are always
Really
talking about
should.
them. I feel like I'm
Really,
missing out on something, and I'm just finishing up the BioShock series now. I started Infinite, just like 2 or 3 days ago. So you gotta wrap that up. Wrap that little trio of gaming history. Put a little bow on it. Say yeah, been there, played that. And I don't know what's next. Maybe Mass Effect. I don't know. I don't know, dude. See where the winds take me.
yeah, we just whoa. There's a bit of lightning over here.
Nah,
Or weird
nah,
lighting effects.
gotta be.
Hmm.
Because lightning is totally unofficially in this game. I'll leave that hanging.
Uh, these people keep disconnecting. These
Oh
teams
my
need to
gosh.
spawn more overlords.
Just summon players from the depths. Pull like just have a pilot tool. You can raise a player from the ground. It just like leans forward from the engine or something.
We require more minerals.
He was spam buff with Lesmach. Oh, hey, here we go. We're gonna get back into the match. That's nice.
Excellent. All right, we're good. We're just waiting for the call from Velvet.
The
Velvet off taking a
authority in
smoke
this
break.
case. Yep, this won't be resolved for a while.
He needs his sig.
All right, solid snake. Sneak him in through your stomach. That was nasty. Game was fun.
Oh no. GG.
Ref is AFK. Wow. All right.
Well, in that case,
I'm
I'm pressing
taking
4 and leaving.
I'm taking over this joint.
Oh no, you don't. Yeah, I was gonna say, I totally call resume, but I don't have control of the timer.
Oh, there we go. All right, Velvet's back. Velvet's back.
All right. Here we go.
That was interesting to say the
Professional
least.
tournament for professional people.
Wow, we are truly top tier. See, this is an indie game where we're indie casters. We're real quality for indie casters.
Or something.
This is why other people are supposed to ref more. I'm sure he was organizing some other part of the tournament.
And the
Wow.
Iberico takes a nosedive.
Straight into the mountain.
Perfect.
10 tenths.
LibATK is actually gonna have a close encounter of the Pyrrha kind in just a moment.
I like that. That's funny.
Oh, Hades is too close to burst, and they're just loading like unbursted Hades shots into one another.
Just the little magma shots.
That was pretty great.
But a
Fancy,
heavy
however.
punch goes
Oh,
into current.
this right here.
Uh,
This right here with the flamethrower. This is so satisfying.
That
Watching
is, I mean,
flamethrower.
on a galleon. Oh, that is the worst.
Look at that. Let's take a look at the Turin. Oh man, everything's gone. Balloon's gone. Armor's not looking so great. I think that this may be all she wrote for the Turin.
Almost
More
every on
flamer.
that.
Nope, I'm getting on this.
Toasty.
Satisfying.
Satisfries. There it goes.
Oh.
Iberico is running away. He is Audi 5000, but unfortunately, you cannot outrun the lumberjacks. And he is
and they drop.
out.
Can't outrun your balloon being popped.
None can escape the wrath of the lumberjack.
Absolutely brutal.
That's like a horror movie. I think the lumberjack is a horror movie in this game. Like, oh, that thing is scary.
I love the lumberjack.
Gosh, so strong, dude. It's basically, I mean, it's just 2 or 3 shots to take out the balloon. It's a carronade with a heavier clip, or with a larger clip, larger reload time, and way more range.
So there's something I'd like to point out here that I find really interesting.
Okay.
Lydia, the Mercury gunner on the Fancy, is a gunner, not an engineer. She's got herself the whole suite of Mercury weapons.
What is... Okay, that's not the Fancy, that's the Lib. What? Okay, so what is she bringing? She has charged Lesmok and Heatsink. So yeah, so she has got mid-range, long-range, and oh, they got a flamethrower. Also,
Yeah.
that third shot is really useful in the Mercury for disabling because the damage reduction isn't enough to make it so you can't one-shot heavy weapons still.
Uh-oh, Turin taking some serious shots. There's
Uh-oh.
only one engineer on the armor.
Fancy is out of balloon and hull as well. Just getting one of those back up. Balloon is still gone, and they are sinking fast.
Yep, LibATK, however, getting some great shots on the Turin. The Iberico able to do quite a bit to the Fancy. They're leaving the balloon down in the meantime. They don't have drogue shoot or anything, but they're looking at losing their armor potential. There we go. Now they're using drogue shoot. They're letting themselves drop quickly, then bring their balloon up. Beautiful coordination.
Yeah, that is some excellent communication going on that boat right now. You just know it. However, Iberico has backed themselves up against a wall and have just got those lumberjacks rearing down on them. That is not... They are... Balloon is down, trying to close in on the Fancy, but Fancy's putting up a fight.
Yeah, Fancy doing excellently while this split lumberjack rips SPQR apart.
I know, but Fancy's about to ground out, and that is going to be a huge problem for them.
Turin's armor breaks, getting chipped away. Fancy losing a little bit of permahull, but the Echidna is not landing at all. Hades is, but not the Echidna.
Well, I mean, the Hades is arcing down enough where it's actually easier to shoot on a descending ship, but that flak is shooting straight, so it's. I mean, if you point right for it, it's gonna go over.
The Fancy is sniping out the weapons of the Iberico. That's what's keeping it alive right now, despite getting chipped down. However, this extended engagement is not going the way of the Rydrs. The Fancy is just taking too much fire.
Yeah, Iberico has been losing hull and losing balloon a lot, but the perma damage is only beginning to sink in now, and even then, just marginally so. However, Iberico is going to round out much sooner than the Fancy has, which is interesting, and might actually be enough to turn this engagement.
LibATK recognizes that it can eat a little bit of damage to go down and focus the Iberico really quickly, get the Fancy out of this nasty situation. The Iberico might drop here. Fancy, look at this aggressive play.
Wow, that was straight up full speed going in for that flamethrower on the Iberico. There goes the balloon. There goes the hole. They are grinding out.
Oh, there they go.
That will be the end.
Swallowed by the Glacier. Turin taking shots on the Fancy, but nothing that accurate.
Yeah, they were able to take out the balloon on the LibATK. But once the Fancy gets up and running on the turn, I think that might be it.
Fancy moving up behind a little bit of hard cover. Took a lot of permahull. And in these sniping engagements, every bit of permahull is important. You know, we talked a little bit about how...
Oh, good spawn on the Iberico. Holy cow.
Yeah, they're fighting in spawn. They got a turn. This is a very unique place to fight. This is not something that we usually see. This area, I mean. But... hey, first time for everything, and this spawn definitely does favor red, but the Ryders are okay with that.
Yeah, it's the Ryders only need one more point, and they are focusing on the comparatively squishy Iberico here, and he is trying to get away. Looks like he's going to be all right for now.
Lydia specifically aiming for the guns on the Iberico, trying to drop some of that DPS, but the Turin is there as well. Gonna pop the balloon, armor down, balloon down. Fancy not looking so fancy schmancy right now.
I mean, they're doing a good job keeping things up that need to stay up. That balloon is up and running again. That hull is looking pretty once more.
LibATK, where is it? It's just not doing anything right now.
It got its balloon popped a couple of times. I think it just took a second to really get itself up and running at maximum capacity. While the Fancy, I guess, was trying to keep disables. I don't know, but that's real difficult against a Pyramidine and a Galleon.
Here we go. Fancy's armor's repaired. They're going to dedicate a little bit more time. No, they're trying to fight back, but the Fancy has just taken way too much damage. LibATK providing a little bit of covering fire.
Got the balloon on the Iberico again. Just look at the range that these lumberjacks are sinking in on both sides. Oh, Iberico's stuck up against the ground.
Oh! Wow.
That was some beautiful marksmanship by both teams. Like those were shots were going about a kilometer or more.
Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I'd say the lumberjacks are the really big power players in that game.
As most games the lumberjacks appear in.
Though gorgeous Hades shots as well. This is a level of accuracy that we haven't seen for like ever, I don't think. Where